Hey guys, D Gamer here, and today I'm bringing you my first full-length video, I'm usually doing shorts, of a few things for Air Simulator Battle in War Thunder. Thing number one is going to be console controls. I know you know that there's better experience, better research points, as well as for events, the simulator battle is the way to grind it. So today we're going to explain those controls to you, but as well, we are going to be going over some extras that I think are important for new pilots to know. So hang on tight, look at this beautiful P-51, and we're about to jump right into it. All right, boys, we're going to get into this by getting into controls. Your pointer aim days are going to be over. If you're doing this, you got to commit. So we're going to go into our full sim controls over here. And a couple things are going to stay the same. Your throttle is going to stay the same. Your throttle is going to be the left stick up and down. But we are going to take our right stick and we are going to make that essentially our flight stick, as if it was in our hands, but our right thumb is our hand. So you want your roll to be your right stick left and right, and your pitch access is going to be your right stick up and down. All right, so a couple other things here. Here I am just showing you the right stick, how to get that in the top right. We want keep value for disabled access. This is for a couple reasons we'll get into a little later on. Also, these settings are up to you. Some people want the dead zone bigger or smaller. That's fine. Always remember to add. Do not remove or replace. You want to add. Now I'm showing you again. This is now our elevator. And we're going through all of the same options. Again, very simple. You can follow along and get this done pretty easy. This is, again, going to make our right thumbstick our actual flight stick. And that's what we're after. Okay, so now that we have added this, again, we never replace. We always add, because if you replace, then a bunch of other stuff doesn't work. So now I'm going to look here in our yaw controls. Now your yaw is your rudder. So you want that on your left stick, okay? Same sort of thing. All the same rules apply. You can figure out your individual sensitivity settings, but we want to keep values for disabled access. Always, always, always. Now, again, I have my settings here. My roll, I want to be extra sensitive because I want my plane to react when I move that stick. My pitch, not so much, but I still want it to be there. But my yaw, because it is a tail fin on the back of your plane, your rudder, by having the sensitivity up too high, you're going to jerk your plane all over the place. And to be honest, it's a real pain in the butt if you have it too high. So after doing some learning, I decided to narrow it down. All right, control surfaces are set up. Now we need situational awareness. We got to be able to turn that head and look around, because if we can't see the bad guys, we're going to die a lot. So here in camera controls, you can see the accesses for up and down and left and right. Now I've got these all on my left stick. This is why we have to keep the disabled fields option on. So otherwise, you're moving your head around when you don't want to, when you're touching your throttle or touching your yaw. I do two things. One, left bumper to activate it. So left bumper with my left stick. And then when I want to reset it to 0, so I'm looking at my gun sight, I push in my right stick and that recenters everything. And in this next clip, we're going to show you how that works. So now you'll see that I have full range of motion for my head. I am pushing my left bumper in and holding it while moving my left stick around. Now, when I want to snap my head back, which will happen here in a moment, I'm going to push my right stick in, and there it is, right back to center. So this is going to be difficult. It's going to take some learning, but it's definitely necessity. You can also move your head up and down, forward, backward, left and right inside the cockpit for better view. I like to lift my head a little bit up so I can get a better lead on my enemy, and I'll show you these controls right here. If you scroll all the way down, you'll have your head position controls. You notice that I don't have anything set for left and right. I only have them set for up and down, forward and back, because I don't need left and right. You might want it, that's fine. Set it up on your keyboard however you like. All right, control surfaces are done, situational awareness is done, so now we need to talk about trim. Trim is the bane of my existence, but it's something that needs to be dealt with in AirSim. There's no way around it. So we're going to go into our trimming settings and we're going to set up some key bindings. Trim aircraft I have set to A. That is going to essentially freeze my trim in any position I'm holding the stick. A and X together will reset it, because sometimes you're going to hit your button and your trim is going to be positive 100 elevator. You're going to need to fix that real quick. And you'll see here, I'm giving you an example. And then we're going to talk about fine tuning the trim. So what I like to do is try and fly as straight as I can, trim it as best I can. And then I've set up these keys for my rudder, my aileron, and my elevator. Now, quick note, positive is always to the right when it comes to rudder and aileron. And that is how we are going to be tweaking this aircraft here. You also are going to be able to save your trim settings. Now this is handy because once you've got your aircraft to cruise speed, you can save that setting, and anytime you launch, that trim is going to be auto loaded. So just makes your life easy. There it is. The S button is for save on my keyboard because I'm original, but this is how we deal with the trim. So you now have enough information, enough control surfaces that you could get into a battle. You can look around, you can fly your aircraft. Everything looks peachy. But let's get into some bonuses. One bonus that I use is flaps. Now, right on the D-pad, we'll toggle those flaps, but it assumes what you need. If I'm in combat, it'll give me combat. If I'm landing, it'll give me landing. If I'm taking off, it'll give me takeoff. But what I've done is I've set my F key for flaps, original I know, to drop my flaps, because there are situations when you get low and slow that your flaps can cause an overshoot and keep you airborne when you should most likely auger into the ground. So flaps, gentlemen. F for flaps. Last bonus feature we're going to talk about is flat spins. I was going to leave it out, but they're frustrating, and if you don't know how to fix them, you're going to want to throw your controller, and we don't want to do that. So flat spin is when your momentum gets so low you're trying to do a turn, and your aircraft just spins uncontrollably in exactly a flat spin. This is what happens if you do nothing. Kaboom! Now we're going to show you how to fix that. So my spin is going to go to the left. Once I get into it here, I am going to kick my right rudder as hard as I can. I am going to nose down, and I am going to drop my throttle to 0. By doing this, I'm giving the aircraft a chance to reclaim. This doesn't always work. There's still going to be times you hit the ground, boys. But this will give you the best chance to get out. And here you can see I've been able to recover, and we're done. So, one quick thing I wanted to mention, saving your trim settings, which we talked about a little earlier. There are certain aircraft in the early stages, Yaks, some of the Japanese aircraft, even the 190s. You do not have control to set trim in battle. Do this in the test flight. Get those trim controls set. It will allow you and save them so that when you are in battle, you are good to go. On that note, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'd like to thank my subscribers. It is my goal to grow this channel as big as I can. And I hope that you found this not only educational, but a little bit entertaining. Again, thank you so much and have a great night.